So over the past few weeks, if you've been paying attention to my community tab, we've been notified of a bunch of new releases that are going to be coming out this summer. And so I wanted to go ahead and take a look at those. I think we have like 4 or 5 brand new designers that are going to be coming out, as well as one that has already been released, but we're not sure if it's going to make it to the USA. So I'm going to be talking about that as well. So we're going to be talking about, again, like 4 or 5 brand new releases, looking at the notes, letting you know if I'm going to be picking them up, all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another video where I'm going to be going through and talking about some of the pre-release information of all of the new designer releases that are coming out here in the next couple months. Before we get into it, if you're new to my channel, you like my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Everybody else on your way in, hit the like. I know it takes a second, just please do it. And then comment below. Let me know after you're done watching the video, which one of these are you the most excited about? We're also going to be talking about a fragrance that was released or re-released, and we're not sure if it's going to make it to the United States. Everybody's been asking me, and I will let you guys know about the Invictus Aqua, and also what it's a re-release of. Before we get into that, I just wanted to let you guys know, when it comes to designer new releases, while I've been taking a step back this year from getting all of the full bottles, because in 2022 I got all 44. Last year I got 36 of the 45, and I ended up picking up the rest with decants. So I was doing all of that, and it just turned out that I was spending money on so many fragrances that I didn't even care to get, that this time I'm being smarter about it. I'm picking up more fragrances that I love, and I'm doing some blind buys of fragrances I'm very interested in. So I'll let you know if I am very interested in this. And every year, about 90% of the new designer releases come out between January and April. And then between the end of April and the mid-May, every single year, there's always a lull. And that lull is usually there, and we get notified of about 3 to 4 new releases that are going to be coming out during the summer. And then those are released, and then you don't hear anything else designer for the rest of the year outside of maybe 1 or 2. That's been the way it's been for the last like 6 to 7 years. So I wouldn't be surprised if these are the last releases of the year outside of maybe 1 or 2 that just get tossed in there. So just an FYI. We've already had like 20 some designers release this year, so it does make sense. So we have like 4 or 5 that I wanted to talk about. And again, I'm not going to be talking about the niche like the Neroli, Portefino, Parfum, and the new Aqua de Parma and all that. That's usually things that I talk about on the live streams. So if you want to check that out, I will be talking about those on the live. So these are the ones that you'll find in Macy's, Sephora, stuff like that. I don't know what the release dates are. I want to let you know, I get this asked all the time. Designers, pretty much any house, doesn't really give you a release date unless it's like indie or niche. They might give you a release date. The only time in the last 3 years that I've seen a release date for any designer fragrance, it was Valentino Coral Fantasy. And it was because they were doing a select limited release in a specific area first. So I wanted to let you know, usually when they give the media the pre-release information, that means that they are releasing it at that time. But there's usually no release dates. So let's just get started. The first one is actually the newest one that I just found out about 3 days ago that it's coming out. This is the one that I told you, it's not really marketed in Macy's and Sephora and stuff like that, but it's well known in the fragrance community. It is called Kenzo Homme Santal Marin, M-A-R-I-N, and it's for men, 2024. And it says that the new powerful scent is inspired by nature as waves of the sea crash against the warm sands while sandalwood wraps the skin in a smoky opulence. The new Kenzo Homme Santal Marin Eau de Toilette is an ode to one of the most precious ingredients in perfumery, which is sandalwood. Its powerful, creamy facets get further elevated by the smoky opulence of gaiac wood, while the fresh sea accord and sparkling lavender conclude the robust blend. Perfuming, it's Quentin Bish, nice, is the mastermind behind the new Kenzo fragrance. It comes in a signature bottle of the Kenzo Homme line with an iridescent blue that mimics the deep blue waters of the ocean in a gradient blue matte black lacquer. The bottle actually looks really cool. And then it says the Kenzo Homme Santal Marin olfactory family notes, a woody aquatic fragrance with top notes of aquatic notes, followed by the mid notes of lavender and base notes of sandalwood and gaiac wood. So this is my favorite from the line so far. This is Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum. This is the one that this sounds like the most, except for it sounds like it's almost going to be this if you took out the leather and added in a creamy sandalwood. But again, they only gave you 4 notes, so they will give us more at some point in time. So maybe it does have leather and it's a creamier version of this. But this is kind of like your dark blue aquatic fragrance that has leather mixed in. Very, very nice. Not for everybody, but it is a very good fragrance, at least in my opinion. My wife really likes it. It's not for the everyday average Joe, though. But Santal Marin, I mean, it's a very basic fragrance as far as the note breakdown is concerned. But, I mean, if they focus on that gaiac wood sandalwood mixture, it could be a really nice aquatic, a little bit, and they said it like a darker blue. Well, for the bottle as well as the black. So I'm thinking because all of the lighter ones in the line, the EDT, the Marin, those ones are the lighter fragrances, while this one and the Intense have the darker bottles, and they're the slightly darker fragrances. So I can see that this one would be a darker fragrance as well. So it does sound very good. I am interested to pick that up, so I will probably buy that as soon as it's released on one of my French websites, because that's where it will be released first, most likely. That or Fragrance Buy. The next one that's coming out, and this is the only niche indie I will be talking about because I just pre-ordered it. It's available for pre-order on their website right now. Make sure you use Ross's from TLTG's 10% off code. This is Zaharoff Signature Seraphim Blue, and it's coming out on June 1st. You can again pre-order it right now. The bottle looks really cool. It has a Seraphim angel on the front, which it's actually pretty funny. One of my moderators said, "Is that supposed to be George Zaharoff?" And I'm like, dude, this reminds me of like the Guardians of the Galaxy where Rocket was like, "One's blue." And literally, the thing on the front is a blue angel. And he's like, "Is that George?" But yeah, anyway, it says, and I actually didn't read any of this information. I only read the note breakdown. But it says the new Zaharoff Signature Seraphim is the brand's first blue fragrance, which is actually not true. It's the first blue fragrance in the Signature line. Ross from TLTG had his Business Over Pleasure, which was an iris blue. So this is the first Signature blue fragrance. Composed to be an airy and light as it ever could be, but with a solid base that makes it divine. The main inspiration behind the new fragrance is the Greek island Mykonos. The famed island lies in the expanse of the Aegean Sea, where the azure blue waters meet the salty air and whisper ancient tales of the gods. It was believed that Seraphim Blue was made of a celestial being's tears, who was sent from above to discover beauty of the Greek islands. It was moved by its charms, so it shed tears of joy, which was mixed with the essence of the sea. The scent starts with the airy, crisp blast of the Aegean breeze, with notes of rosemary and sea salt that mesh with the skin, adding freshness and allure. As the blend sits further, it unfurls the delicate heart of the sea florals, picked from the depths of Poseidon. I hate when they do that. Like, it's like sometimes, so I get all of this information from iFragrance, and sometimes it's almost like they try to be too poetic with it. And that's pretty much what they were doing here, is they were being way too poetic with it, because I know that George didn't write all of that information. He just kind of, they're adding things onto that, because I did read some of what George wrote. But anyway, Zaharoff Signature Seraphim Blue classifications: a floral aquatic fragrance with top notes of apple, lavender, rosemary, and eucalyptus, followed by mid notes of blue cypress, immortelle, iris, coconut, orange blossom, maritime notes, mugane, and base notes of cistus, frankincense, red seaweed, amber, and musk. And the perfumer is Claude Deer, just like the perfumer on Ross's Evening Mystique. So apparently this is, to Ross, this is the best blue fragrance ever released. And I already know, based on what he said, the opening is a minty eucalyptus. So it said floral blue in the breakdown here, but I hear it's a minty blue. So it's like a slightly darker minty blue. It's very fresh, clean, and then you have this minty eucalyptus in the opening. That's all the amount that I know from it, but I pre-ordered it. It sounds amazing, and a blue fragrance is a blue fragrance. I always love blue fragrances. So Zaharoff Signature Seraphim Blue, I definitely think that you should go check it out if you are interested in blue fragrances at all, or minty fragrances. The next one is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. This one was released right before it, and it's a very good fragrance. This is Spicebomb Infrared Eau de Parfum, which kind of took the original infrared, that cinnamon, benzo, and balm, and took away that tobacco and added in just a little bit more of a fruity note in the opening, added in a little bit more of this woodiness in the dry down. It's a very, very, very nice fragrance. It's almost like the grown-up version of the original one. With that said, we are now looking at the brand new Spicebomb Dark Leather by Viktor & Rolf. I'm very excited about this. It's an eau de parfum, the intense, mysterious, and masculine interpretation of the original eau de parfum. So it's supposedly, from what it's saying, iFragrance, again, they sometimes just put this information out there, and it doesn't always make sense, because this wouldn't be a masculine interpretation of the eau de parfum unless you're just saying that the leather mixed with the original, but they wouldn't know that at all. So this was just a press release, so I think it's going to go and do its own thing. I don't think it will smell like the original Spicebomb, but if it was leather mixed with the original Spicebomb, I think that would be really good. Like an ombre leather Spicebomb mix, that would be really good. A story that is, okay, I'm not reading that again. It's seductive, insurgent, yet elegant. The burst of spicy black pepper with nutmeg, nutmeg, that contradicts with the opulence of smoky incense and fiery cinnamon for an elevated sensuality. The ruggedness of black leather is a hot tobacco wrap with the fragrance and an irresistible sensuality, leaving a seductive trail. See, it's like they're too poetic with it. I just want to hear about the fragrance. I don't care about, like, the ocean sea breeze feels great on my luxurious skin. Like, I don't care about that. So iFragrance, I'm not trying to be rude. You have some of the best information when it comes to new releases. It's just be more specific and don't try to be too poetic with it. Anyway, when it comes to the note breakdown for Spicebomb Dark Leather, a spicy leather woody fragrance with top notes of black pepper and nutmeg, followed by mid notes of incense and cinnamon, and base notes of tobacco and dark leather. My wish is that it turned this into a leather fragrance. So Spicebomb Infrared, which is cinnamon heavy, they're adding nutmeg to it, so I'm thinking that it's going to be like this, with a little bit of nutmeg and leather piled on top. That's what my hope for it is, minus that fruitiness. So, I mean, the original eau de parfum mixed together with leather would make sense, but I think that it's going to do something its own, because I know every single time that Viktor & Rolf has come out with a new Spicebomb that was not a flanker off of another one in the line, it was always completely different than the original, or than the one before it. So, like, Infrared smells nothing like the Extreme. Extreme smells nothing like Infrared Eau de Parfum. The original smells nothing like Infrared. Night Vision smells nothing like Night Vision Eau de Toilette. That's what I'm saying. So I have a feeling it's going to do its own thing, and I'm very excited. This is my #1 most excited one. With that said, we're getting into the next one. I'm only going to do the note breakdown for this because I don't want to read that poetic stuff. I'm already 13 minutes into the video. So this is Versace Eros Energy. And someone, I think they're lying to me. Someone told me, why are you even doing a video about it? Like, I did a post, like a short about the note breakdown. And they said, why are you doing that? It's not coming out until September 7th. And I said, what are you talking about? From what I understand, somebody in Germany already has it. One of my subscribers from Germany said they already had it, and that it was online, that they had ordered it. And he goes, well, I already talked to this person, and I had to look at the person's name, and it's like the CEO of Versace. And I was like, first off, you didn't talk to them. It was like a CEO of like a sister company to Versace. But with that said, they wouldn't release a spring and summer fragrance in September. I just don't see that happening. So right now, I'm just going to go with it's coming out at least in the Europe in the next like few weeks. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. I've just never seen a fragrance pre-release information released and then come out 4 months later. I just never saw that, so I think that person's wrong. But anyway, Versace Eros Energy, a citrus, spicy, woody fragrance with top notes of Italian bergamot, blood orange, lime, grapefruit, and lemon, followed by mid notes of pink peppercorn, black currant, and white amber, and base notes of patchouli, musk, and oak moss. People keep saying it's going to smell like a Ventus, it's going to smell like Hachivat, and I'm telling you, there has never been a designer release that has come out that people were looking at it and they see pineapple and they're like, that's going to smell like a Ventus, and it never does. The only one that even came remotely close was Mont Blanc Explorer, and it does its own thing no matter what people say. It's not doesn't smell like a Ventus. It has the style. This one, I mean, think about it. You have the black currant in there, yes, but you have blood orange. The last time blood orange was used in this line, it was an Eros Flame. They're still going to have the Eros DNA in this. There's going to be some kind of Eros DNA. Because Versace Eros Flame, when they released a note breakdown originally for this, they did not have the vanilla in it. It made it look like it was fresh, but it was not. And so just wanted to let you guys know that. There's still going to be the Versace Eros DNA. It's still in the Eros line. So it's not going to come out and smell like because there's oak moss. People have been saying it smells like it's going to smell like Hachivat. In what realm do you think that they're going to release a fragrance that smells like Hachivat in a line that is built around the note of vanilla? Like mint and vanilla, mint, blood orange and vanilla. It's not going to happen. This is probably going to be one of those kind of like a Edition Blanche like fragrances where it's not going to smell like Edition Blanche, but it's going to be citrus, sweet, creamy, maybe citrus, sweet, powdery. It's probably going to be a little bit sweet. That's what my guess is. I think it's going to still be a bit rindy. It's going to be the freshest one in the line, in my opinion. But it's not going to smell like a Ventus, Hachivat. People say that every time they see pineapple or oak moss. It's not going to happen. And if I'm wrong, I'll come out and make a video that I was wrong. But I'm not going to be wrong. Just an FYI, I'm not going to be wrong. Anyway, the last one I wanted to talk about. People have been asking me about the new Invictus Aqua. Invictus Aqua has been re-released for a limited time. People were saying it's a re-release of the 2018. I have confirmed with a bunch of people who have the original 2016 that this is a re-release of the 2016 Invictus Aqua. At this point in time, they have released it as an online French-only sale where they are bringing it back for a limited period. I think it was like 3 to 6 months on the website for Paco Rabanne in France only. That is the only way, so you won't be able to buy it unless for some reason Fragrance Buy somehow gets it from that site and brings it over and then sells it to you, maybe marked up a bit. I could see that happening. But at this point in time, it's not going to be released in stores. But I do have to say, Paco Rabanne discontinued 1 Million Lucky, and then they brought it right back on the shelves for the holiday like 6 months after that. And it's still available online pretty much everywhere. So you never know with Paco Rabanne, but I'm pretty sure with this one, this was just like a, hey, we heard your voices. You wanted us to bring this back. We're bringing it back for a select period of time, and we're bringing it back in the place that sells the most fragrances, and that is France. Apparently, there's 2 other countries included in that. I think it was the UK and Sweden or something like that, but not 100% sure. I just know France was part of it. But just an FYI, it will not be in the United States, so don't ask me. And it is the 2016 version, not the 2018 version. But that's it. those are all the new releases that are announced at this point in time. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I am going to be picking up all of them. This is the first time this year that I'm going to be picking up all 4 new releases right off the switch. I have Scandal Absolute already on the way. As far as a decant, somebody from UK sending that to me. That's why I didn't buy it. Mont Blanc Legend Blue. I have that one on the way as far as a decant, because the one that another one of my subscribers sent me broke, so someone else is sending me it. So yeah, those are all the new releases. Let me know if you guys know of any other ones that I have missed. And again, I'll be back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.